Good afternoon and happy Thursday, everyone. It's Alyssa Corum and Ed Carson here with a look at the stock market today in this shortened trading week due to the holiday. We are going to be taking a look at the major indexes, some really key action that we're going to break down for you this week, as well as a look underneath the surface, Ed. There were a lot of really good looking moves in individual stocks today. And you're on mute. He's speechless at all the
speechless.
stocks that we've seen.
Once again, we had more chip stocks breaking out. Corvo is the latest among those. Google well, definitely made a bullish action today. And another FANG stock, this one Diamondback Energy, that one moved bullishly from its 10-week line as well.
Okay, great. Can't wait to get into all of those. First look at the NASDAQ. Here is the candlestick chart on Thinkorswim as Ed zooms in there a little bit. So a really nice gain on Friday for the tech heavy index, up about 1.8% to close out the day. We had the S&P 500 up 1.2%, the Russell up 1.3%, and the Dow up about 0.5%. So Ed, the NASDAQ has been lagging. We finally got a day 18 follow through day from the NASDAQ on Wednesday, and a big pop today above a key level.
Yeah, I mean, this was a really important week because we'll look at some of the other indexes, but the NASDAQ had been below the 50-day line, below the 21-day line, below the bottom of this regression channel. And so just a lot of negative action in that field. So yeah, the Wednesday sort of quasi follow through, it's unclear if we really needed it, but the NASDAQ has been acting like a correction. Today's move, it looks like volume might be slightly higher. That's still tentative. So that was also strong, getting above the 50-day line. There's still this area that I think we want to see this get over and to really feel confident. But there's definitely been a lot of action, not just in the NASDAQ, but also some tech stocks like Google, like Corvo, and a lot of other things that makes you feel more confident about the NASDAQ and the broader market rally.
So some potential areas of resistance that we still want to see the NASDAQ clear. And it's very important, I think, right, Ed, for the NASDAQ to now hold this recently retaken 50-day line.
Yes, I mean, and that's, these last couple of days, really important. You really want to hold the 50-day, really want to hold the 21-day. So those are a given, definitely need to do that. But if we can get over this last step, I think then we can all feel like the whole rally is moving together and, and get out of this sort of the bifurcated rally that we've been talking about.
And let's take a quick look at the weekly chart for the NASDAQ as well. We always like to take a step back and look at that perspective. The NASDAQ gaining about 2.5% or more, it looks like, for the week. So we finally got another big blue bar. It's they've been a little few and far between in the past number of weeks since those prior highs.
That's right. And you can see how we closed basically right at the highs. It was really just strong action after, a lot of negative action, getting above these areas, just starting to feel like, you're moving forward, getting above that upside resistance. So yeah, it was very nice to see this move.
And another thing that we were concerned about was the weakness in big cap technology names. So we want to take a look at QQQ, the NASDAQ 100, which also notched a significant gain on Friday to close out the week. It's now back above its 50-day line, and it looks like it's just above those other highs from this middle of the consolidation there. Do you feel like it would have been better to see the Qs close a little higher, or does it feel like it's in a pretty good spot at this point? I feel like Chris was saying 325. I'm not sure if it quite made it there.
I mean, the higher the better, the further away the better. Always.
Of course.
Yeah, always. But it's nice, and especially you want the NASDAQ to get above there too. But it's nice to see the, especially when you consider why, what's dragging down on the NASDAQ.
Right.
Well, honestly, it's these the high growth names, the Tesla, Teladoc Health, all had big runs. Right now, they're not doing so well. I mean, overall, some of them rallied this last week, but they're still well below key levels. So some of the healthier parts of the tech market, those are doing well. Yeah, and we're definitely above all this kind of area, all this resistance spot. So yeah, if we can keep moving there and pull up the rest of the NASDAQ, we'll be in really good shape.
And the Russell 2000, we also want to check in on small caps by taking a look at IWM. The Russell getting back above that 50-day line on Friday. That was a little bit of a concern. Seeing the Russell pretty much round trip all of those gains from that sharp move off of that first pullback there in February and March. So good to see the Russell now back above the 50-day too.
Yeah, that really is, quietly one of those things. We don't talk about the Russell, or we do a fair amount, but usually you don't hear too much talk about the small caps. But when that was coming down, it's like, oh boy, now more indexes are joining the NASDAQ on the
Right.
downside. Now at the end of this week, not only is the NASDAQ improving, but the Russell is above the 50, it's above the 21 fairly convincingly. So, those two factors really make you feel
Mhm.
better about the market.
Yeah, because earlier in the week, that 50-day was proving to be a resistance level. So we like where the Russell is now, but just like the Nasdaq, we want to see it hold that level. Let's quickly look at the S&P 500 and Dow. The S&P sitting pretty here at highs and crossing that 4,000 level for the first time.
Yeah, in many ways, you could say the S&P is taking the reins from the Dow because you got the combination of some old economy names and then some new economy with the bigger techs. So, I mean, it's really nice to see the S&P above 4,000. It just looks really strong.
And the Dow really quickly as well, trading in a pretty tight range for the last couple of sessions, but right up there at highs as well.
That's right. So nothing wrong with that going on.
Okay, well, we mentioned the strength in the chip sector, which was really it seemed like the standout area in technology for the last number of weeks, as we saw a lot of setups in that area, seeing some breakouts this week and today in particular. We want to take a look at Corvo, ticker QRVO.